to Break Down Blitz with Insidious and Ghost. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to Break Down Blitz. Episode 2.
I kind of like that intro. You know, it's short, sweet, to the point.
I like the sports
I
echo.
remember where there was one that was like 2 minutes long. I'm like, have we started yet? Okay.
Actually, it was 1 minute and 44 seconds.
Oh, pardon me. I am something.
I only know because I see it. I'm looking at it.
Okay. So, opening topic. As everyone probably knows, I am keeping a sharp eye on the Charlie Kirk assassin's case. The killer accusing the Tyler Robinson is the one who is accused of killing Charlie Kirk. Now, in my opinion, you all right over there? All right. In my opinion, 3 years down the line, no one's going to remember this guy's name, but everyone's going to remember Charlie Kirk. You know what I'm saying? So
we all know that.
I mean, Kirk, if you ask me, has reached that point of immortality because his videos are still being shared. People are still watching it. His company, Turning Point USA, is still a pinnacle, going to all the campuses. His people are doing what he used to do. Erica is doing a great job running the show. So you can't kill the movement that easily. You know what I mean? So here's the thing. Okay, so here's what I found out. They found a text message. They released a text message that in the court, the pretrial. The pretrial is still going on, and there was text messages between Tyler Robinson and his lover, Lance Twiggs. It's his living roommate, partner, lover, all that stuff. Anyway, so one of the text messages goes from Twiggs to Robinson asking, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" In which Robinson replied, "I am. I'm sorry. I had hoped to keep the secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you." Text messages described Robinson allegedly trying to recover a rifle after the shooting. The only thing I had left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Robinson allegedly texts Twiggs, and he worries about the prints. So, there you go. What do you have to say to those type of text messages?
Well, those I already knew months ago.
Well, yes.
When they were first released.
Yeah, but they were released again.
But now they're saying now they're saying he turned himself in without turning himself in by releasing those.
Yeah, he says later in the exchange, Robinson instructed Twiggs to delete the exchange of texts before sending a message saying, "I'm going to turn myself in willingly."
He didn't have a choice. His daddy was already turning him in.
Right. And it says here could be some another text says,
how much did you watch into that, by the way?
Which one?
Of the hearing.
Bits and pieces. How about you?
Did you watch the full breakdown videos at the beginning there? It was like a good 30 minutes in.
Probably no. You're gonna have to be more elaborate about what we're talking about.
Well, they went by a frame by frame of every camera, showing him throughout the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice there's one part where he was walking with a limp, trying to disguise himself just in front of the cameras?
I did not catch that. No.
Yeah, they actually have it shown in the hearing of him walking with a limp, going upstairs, going downstairs, and then they show him with the same limp going across the building, walking just fine and getting into position
Huh.
and jumping without a limp and running. And they had him timed like the whole time too. Like they had him at 9:45 in the parking garage talking to the people there, wanting to know what time Charlie was going to be on stage. Oh yeah, he was talking to all of them. So it isn't like he was trying to give himself any discretion.
Mm-mm.
And he hung out in front of all the cameras, apparently. So yeah, they had him, but during the investigation, as the camera was coming out, and they watched him leave the parking garage, walk over. They watched him climb up the stairs to the roof, watched him go across the roof, and climb up on and get into position and lay down. So everyone's saying that the DNA evidence was inconclusive. Oh, it's fake. He's the wrong guy. He's caught dead to rights on top of the building, laying down. He even turned and looked at the camera before he even walked to the building to even go up there.
So now, I don't know how legit this is. So please, everybody, again, I just was hearing these things through the grapevine, so I don't know if it's legit or not. But I think there was a defense attorney. I don't think it's his defense attorney, but I just think it's a defense attorney mentioning that they don't believe this case is going to go to trial and there'll be a deal before this pre-trial is up. So
no, there ain't going to be no deal.
Well, no, the deal would probably be something like life in prison, like try to avoid the death penalty kind of a thing.
That ain't going to happen. If he doesn't get the death penalty out of this, which I know it's what Erica doesn't want, we've heard her say it multiple times.
What?
But that she didn't want the death penalty.
Oh.
She has said it multiple times. When they did Charlie Kirk's, I don't know if you want to call it funeral, whatever you want to call it.
Wait a minute. I don't recall her
hold
saying
up.
she didn't want it. I remember her saying she forgave him. I don't recall. I remember her saying that she forgave him.
Hold on. You didn't let me finish.
Okay.
Didn't let me finish. It started there, but she was later in other podcasts saying she didn't want the death penalty because that isn't what Charlie would have wanted. She's like, Charlie was a forgivable person. Even if they did wrong, he wouldn't want them to end up like that. And but you know what? Looking back on it, you've heard him talk about the death penalty. He was against it. Because he said everybody can change.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. It's not what he would have wanted. So no, that's why she's against it. But the state is pushing for it.
Because she also claimed that she also wanted justice done.
She wants justice done, but she doesn't want. Actually, I don't know. Because in another interview, she was trying to get the charges dropped.
Okay, I don't recall any of that.
Hold on. I can't do it, I think. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Give me a second. Give me a second. You get my hefty deputy laptop here. I am right now. Get my hefty deputy laptop out.
Yeah. Okay, and while he puts his foot in his mouth,
he hopes.
I don't recall any of that. I mean, I'll be honest. I never caught her even talking about the death penalty, but you know what? She could have. But I know for a fact she didn't say that. Because that doesn't sound right. Let's see. What's dang it. Hold on, I got to update this thing. So, in case people haven't followed us in the past, just to give people an indication of other things that we'll do while we're still getting this podcast up and rolling, we will. The hell? We do talking football during the football seasons. And the first game isn't until September 9th. What's really? September? I mean Wednesday? Wednesday? That's interesting. Huh. So the very first game will be a Wednesday night football on September 9th, which I think, if I'm knowing my calendar right, it's exactly 2 months from now. It'll be the first Wednesday after Labor Day. Well, isn't that nice? And I'm talking about the first week of the regular season. We don't care too much about the preseason here. Let's see. So let me pull up some scheduling. So yeah, we'll talk about the football games that are going to be coming up. Huh. First game will be the Patriots versus the Seahawks. Interesting. Dude, it's weird. I completely forgot who won the Super Bowl. It was the Seahawks, and the Seahawks beat the Patriots 29-13. And yet they're the ones that they're going to have the Super Bowl rematch. Interesting. Seahawks versus Patriots. That's nice. Interesting. All right. Also, with this year being a midterm year for elections, we'll keep everyone in the loop on that as well. We'll also, my plan is the Tuesday said the elections, we'll have a podcast in the evening to release the results of said elections. Don't know how we'll do that with our schedules, but we'll figure it away. I mean, with his schedule flip-flopping the way it is in mine mornings, yeah, well, we're going to have to play it by ear as it gets closer. But I promise you, we will have a special midterm election podcast during that time frame. Oh, right now we have a viewer. So whoever it is, hello, how are you? Why don't you shoot yourselves in the comments and say something? Right now we're talking about the Tyler Robinson, allegedly the one that assassinated Charlie Kirk. We're talking about how his lover sent the evidence released today was text messages from Tyler Robinson to his lover, and the person left. Guess they don't want to say hi.
Yep, there it is right there. Okay, I was wrong on dismissing the case. She wanted the death penalty gone. Dismissed.
Okay. I was going to say.
Yeah. Yeah, it says here she made a revelation that she would not seek the death penalty. So I had it half right.
You had it bullcrap right.
Half right. Half right. I misunderstood what that meant and took it somewhere else.
Wow.
But then after that, she said she's leaving the death penalty to the government.
Because, like you said, like she's gonna let
I don't know. Well, at the time she said all that, she was still mourning her husband and was trying to be in good spirits. I get it. And backtrack a little bit. It happens. You have time to think, time to process. You know what I mean?
right.
Becomes a whole different thing. I know some people don't look at it that way. So what else do we got?
All right. Well, I was talking about what we're planning on doing in the future with football. Talk about the elections when it's time.
Ooh.
Dang.
Well,
Check
if
this out.
that's the case, if you want, I got.
There will be 36 governor races. Of the 50 states, there's 36 governor races. Most places are pretty much solid, which what they'll be. But there's only 3 states that are a toss-up that they don't have an idea of which governor will win, and that's Georgia, Wisconsin, and Iowa.
Damn.
Iowa's a toss-up state now.
Well, I've already got season 1. I got the whole preseason schedule already.
Dude, I got the whole damn schedule, huh? I already got it right here.
No, nobody cares about preseason, so I'm not even going to go over that.
We are not doing our predictions this 2 months away.
Sure not. Why? Nobody watches preseason. Nobody watches preseason.
We're going to forget because we're going to forget who the hell we predicted when we do the results. We can wait a couple months.
No, we won't. Let's just go back and rewatch this podcast.
Yeah, that's. Oh man, this guy, people. Oh.
Fuck, man, week 1 looks good too.
They usually
a lot of bangers starting off.
Supposedly.
Actually, there is some good teams. They're facing some really good teams. I'm actually shocked. Well, I'm not. Put that in a win for Dallas. Let's go with that. The one next to it could be good. Chiefs versus Broncos. That could be decent.
Depends
Chargers played. No, it's the same way with the Cardinals and the Chargers. Depends which one shows up. And you got the Commanders and the Eagles. Well, if they play like they did last season, again, whichever one shows up. Raiders and the Dolphins. I'll give Dolphins a check mark. Packers and Vikings. Packers. Steelers and Falcons. Well, we'll just give that to the Steelers right now because Falcons ain't done shit. Ooh.
Did they beat you?
We'll just. Hey, we got a check mark for the Bears. They got the Panthers. Nothing good's coming out of Carolina this year.
Hey, so back to the toss-up. What's your take about Iowa being a toss-up in the governor? Usually Iowa goes red. So what's your take about being a toss-up this round?
We don't even know who the Democratic governors running are. That's how much of a toss-up it is.
What?
No one knows who the Democratic governors that are running. I don't know any of them. I haven't even heard them. I can't even find them.
Rob Sand is the Democrat nominee, and the Republican nominee is. Hold on.
If it is who I think you're saying, I'm going with Rob Sand. I'm sorry, I'm going Democrat.
And Zach Line.
Yep, going Democrat.
You think? Why do you think Rob's going to win?
Because I'm going to vote for him.
Since when do you vote Democrat?
Since when I go with some policies that are better for Iowa. And I'm telling you right now, that guy is not good for Iowa. Rob Sand has been in Iowa his whole life, knows more about Iowa than that guy. That guy only moved back to Iowa so he could run for the governor's race. His heart is in Kansas. It's where he got rich from.
That's still Midwest.
Doesn't matter. You can't claim that. He was flat out said in an interview that he would try to make it back to Iowa if he wins. So that tells you where his true power is going to lie. It's not here.
How is that any different? I don't buy that, and here's why. How is that any different?
Do.
Would you let me finish?
But you're a governor. You're supposed to be here, not put your focus in another state that you're not part of. Just because that's where your money lies. You know, he was nominated for governor 3 times over there, and he failed. So that's why he came back here. He couldn't make it there.
Can I explain? Can I say my point now?
I don't know. It depends what your point is. I just don't stick with him.
Okay. So here, people move and make great changes because what they do is they bring policies that works in their state or area. They bring it to a new area and implement said structures, and all of a sudden it works really well. Take for instance, Schwarzenegger. He's not even an American, and yet he became the governor of California. And while he was the governor of California, things were banging great over there. And take for instance, WWE professional wrestler Kane. He is born in Spain. He was born in Spain.
He's a mayor, not a governor.
Raised in Missouri, and then became the mayor in Tennessee. Again, and right now that place is going great. It doesn't necessarily matter where you're from. It matters of what you can do. And if you can bring policies that you know work from different areas to a new place and make it work, I'm all for it.
I'm against it.
Well, I just made 2 great examples of people from different areas coming to a new place and making shit work.
Because he's from Iowa. He moved to Kansas because he couldn't get rich from Iowa. He left for the wrong reason. Bull crap. Tom Arnold did.
He's dumb, but he left Iowa. He became an actor.
Okay, I can give you another one. Ashton Kutcher.
Again, left Iowa.
No, he didn't. He went to school at a college in UCLA for acting. He left, yes, but he did it on a scholarship that he got from Iowa.
The point is, he still left to make the money. Nobody gets
I'll give you one better. Slipknot.
Can you name someone that's not an actor?
Slipknot.
I don't know.
You are from Iowa and you don't know Slipknot.
You realize what my likes and dislikes are.
They are the biggest heavy metal group out of Iowa.
And you know,
from Des Moines.
I don't listen to heavy metal. You know that.
Well, that's because you live under a rock.
No, I don't like heavy metal. I've never liked heavy metal, and you know this.
But the point is, I just gave you 2 of them. Another whole group, a whole band that is from Des Moines, Iowa. From Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah, but you're also naming people that are going into the entertainment business and have to move around. I guarantee you, none of these people stay in Iowa to make their money. They go other places. Nobody stays in Iowa and makes money.
They did.
You know, unless you become a surgeon a lawyer, like, one of those big time jobs, things. It's Iowa. Everyone knows it's Iowa. There's a reason why Iowa is in the top 5 of the cheapest states to live in. You realize that, right?
We're probably like that for a reason.
So back to my point, just because somebody is not necessarily living in Iowa doesn't mean he may not know what Iowa needs. And Rob Sand, if you take a look at what he did, if you take a look at Rob Sand, people say that what he did as the Iowa treasurer, the man that's supposed to be in charge of the money, a lot of money got.
Hey, you know what? I would rather have a full-time governor than a part-time governor.
I don't want a governor that's going to lose money.
I would rather have a governor that's here, stands with Iowa, than to play his real intentions lie in another place that's probably just going to steal from us and give it to somebody else. If we want to do that, we could join the rest of the U.S. and cater to China.
What's wrong with somebody moving away and coming back? You do realize I did that, right?
You did it for a reason. He is a government official who has made it clear that he will only be here if he can. If he can, which tells you he's going to take Iowa's resources, Iowa's money, and put it right into Kansas.
You don't know that. First of all,
how much more writing on the wall do you need?
Because he wouldn't be allowed to do that. You do realize we have a state house.
Bull crap, he wouldn't. Oh, yeah, you do. But he also has executive power,
which they can nullify for spending purposes. In case you haven't realized, everything that Trump has to do when it comes to spending, it has to go through the House and the Senate first. He can't just do it.
Oh, he can if it's on a business piece of paper. Say it's a business deal and force it through.
And yet that's being nulled out because but he's also a billionaire. He's capable of using his own money.
But that guy also did something I'm totally against.
Who? What?
Private schools.
Who the hell cares?
Me.
What's wrong with private school? Honestly, with these days,
do you want to know? Do you want to know how much that private school cost? It's not for the middle class.
Who cares?
It's not for the middle class.
Again, who cares?
Me.
Why?
And everybody else like me who has kids, who knows what it's like to struggle.
So?
The reform schools are nothing but for the powerful, rich, and the needy.
Hey, dude.
Iowa does not have that many rich people, and it gives them more reason to be entitled. Like they're not entitled enough.
I have a question for you. Take a look at what they're teaching our kids these days in school, and you're going to tell me that's
and it's going to be any different there?
Huh?
And you think it's going to be any different there?
At private schools?
I mean, do you really think
so? I know they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Not any damn better.
School systems. I've been in private school systems. I've been around them because during my teaching shit. I'm telling you, they are allowed to do things that public schools will force on people. I mean, public schools these days they force this on your kids, that on your kids. I mean, hell, I have something to tell you. Your youngest child. How old is your youngest kid? Remind me. I forget.
7.
Okay. If I give your youngest kid instructions in cursive to dial me on a rotary phone with an analog clock, will your child be able to follow the instructions, or am I talking to a
no kid in this generation even knows what the hell an analog clock is and knows what the hell a rotary phone is. And I do mean any kid. I don't care what school they go to. Because you know what they call that now? An antique.
Huh? Well, let me tell you something, sir. What is the Declaration of Independence written in? What's the Constitution written in? cursive.
Fuck,
So
ask
how
me
the
if I
hell?
fucking know.
It's in cursive. So how the hell are you supposed to know your rights if you can't read them?
Here's a question for you. They don't even teach cursive anymore. They don't even teach you to write it. They quit
That's
that
my
when I was in
point.
school. They quit that when I was in school.
Nothing. The bullshit they did. You and I were in school at the same time. I learned how to write cursive.
I didn't.
Well, I don't know what to tell you
And
about that.
this is where I have a problem. And this is where I can tell you what the problem is. They want to fucking reform something, reform the special education program.
Oh, good Lord, no.
No, I'm being for real. Reform it.
Reform it
If
how?
not, because, you know, if it wasn't until I discovered this lovely thing that we're on right now, I never knew what was wrong with me. Now I do. See, your brain is different than mine, correct?
Everyone's brain.
Exactly. But they're only different on two ways. See, my brain works in patterns. Yours doesn't. Yours works in layers. That's why you can snap your fingers and you can catch everything and you store everything. I do not. I have what they call an overreactive brain. My brain will wander off if it's not amused, if uh, if a teacher tries to explain something and my brain doesn't find it amusing, my brain puts me into a daydream, puts me into a place more comfortable, more my liking.
Dude, that's a
Whether
lot of
it's a
kids.
no, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I did that.
No, yeah, but there's a difference. You can still store. I can't. You know, it took me 3 weeks staying after class to learn division, and it took me 1 year to lose it. 1 year. I couldn't tell you how to do division in my head if I wanted to. But it took me 3 months to learn it. It took me 1 year to lose it because I didn't use it every day. And that was because I went to high school and we went back to plus and minus. I did times out of 4 years, one time. So you want to reform something, reform the educational program for special ed because that's where the problem is.
Well,
I promise you.
Well, I'll admit the education system needs to be.
Oh no. The education system is working. It's just not working for special ed because it's still the same.
Kids don't know how to do cursive.
Because that's the new curriculum. You know, teachers. Hold on. Why do you think Trump got rid of the education system that everybody got mad about?
Because he realizes it the way I do that it needs a freaking overhaul.
Hold on. No, listen. Why do you think he did it? Why do you really think so?
I just answered the question.
No, you didn't. You didn't give me a description.
Because you're not letting me finish your thought. He realizes what I realize and that the whole damn thing needs a freaking overhaul.
No, it's not it. Teachers spend thousands of dollars to go to college to learn how to teach kids, and yet they are told to forget everything they learned at that college. You're going to teach the way we want you to.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your point of spending all that money to go to college if the state was just going to tell you how to teach a kid?
Mm-hmm.
That's why he got rid of it.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, well, why did he do that? Well, talk to the people that went to school. Talk to the kids. Talk to the teachers. Teachers are the ones that's like, hey, we're just doing what we're told here. You think we want to teach this garbage?
Honestly, that's why I'm saying it needs an overhaul.
Well, that's the problem. As long as you still got state schools like Iowa, that's bound to determine that we have a good school system. Well, no, we don't. You have teachers that spending thousands of dollars that don't know shit from a head from a hole in their ground because you're not letting them teach. You know, we lived through 9/11. Most of us can remember what we did, where we were.
I was in school, history class.
I was in Miss Pence's class. We were doing math when we got told to drop our pencils and look at the TV.
Yeah, I was in history class watching history.
And it was saddened me because last year was 9/11 and I asked my kids what they learned. All they told me was planes hit the tower at the end. I go, they didn't tell you why, who, where, why it happened, what happened afterwards, what happened before it. Just 9/11, planes hit the towers. That's why we celebrate this day. Nothing.
Again, it needs an
But
overhaul.
yet we celebrate Martin Luther King Day, and we can have a full-blown history lesson.
You're proving my point.
Oh, you want to get me going on Christopher Columbus?
I'm just saying, it needs an overhaul. Teachers aren't teaching anymore.
You know how Christopher Columbus found the U.S. and we claim him to be a martyr? He was running from the law. He was a murderer and a rapist.
What?
But we celebrate him. Sometimes history isn't so what it seems to be, is it?
Okay, so who did he murder?
I don't know. It doesn't give me that. It just told me what he did. Why would I care? You know how long ago that was? It ain't like I'd know the person.
Because I've never heard of that story.
You wouldn't. Unless you looked it up, like I did.
No, I'm actually a history buff.
If you actually dig deeper into our history, you'll find out a lot of our history people weren't such great people.
No, I knew
But
that.
but they make us seem to be. They'll feed you into anything if they want you to believe it as a kid. But the problem is they didn't think the internet would come out and people could dig. And the more you dig, the more you find, the more you're sitting here thinking, my whole childhood was a lie. I can give you another description if you'd like. How come the South is taught something different than the North?
Please. That's an easy one.
To keep us divided. They still want that North versus South thing so bad they can taste it. And I didn't know that until I talked to a buddy of mine that lives in the South, and I was talking about what we were taught here, and it's totally different what he was taught there. I was like, wow. So which one's accurate? I don't think any of them are accurate. I think it's meant just to keep us divided, divide and conquer. I mean, that's honestly what I think. Good.
Obviously, you and I disagree when it comes to the governor thing. But
like I said, I go with what's best for Iowa. That guy might have done a crappy job.
And I'm going to go.
That guy is not what's best for Iowa.
Why? Because he doesn't live here? Is that your only?
He did live here and he moved back just so he could run for governor. That's the difference.
Is that
because he was I got more than that. I gave you my reasons. He said it multiple times. Even if he's elected governor, he still will be in Kansas. He will make it to Iowa when he can. Does that sound like that's not somebody I want as governor. I want a full-time governor, not a part-timer.
What about policies?
What policies has he named? He's not named any.
We haven't gotten to that part yet.
Sure we have. You know how many other candidates that were up there before him that were already listing policies on the Republican Party? I don't even know how the hell he even won the primary. I'm still trying to figure it out. Heck, honestly, I was going to go with one of the other guys because I thought they were really good. Veenstra, I really wanted. He was really good.
Yeah.
He talked about the policy. He talked about the policies he wanted. So did the other guy that was running that I was really looking into too. Both of them had really strong, good policies. But then somehow this guy outbeat him, and Trump didn't endorse him. But I just could not believe that Turning Point USA did.
I'm reading his policies. I can tell you why when you calm down.
There ain't no calming down because nothing's going to change my mind about that guy.
I can tell you why he won.
I don't know how. Like I said, he didn't get Trump's endorsement.
I'm going to tell you. The farmers were behind him.
They were behind Veenstra too.
Yeah.
So I still don't understand how this guy won.
Because he got more of the what do you call it? The rural vote.
Popular vote. Yeah, the rural vote. You know what the rural votes are? Retirement homes. I already learned that.
What? No, the rural is farmers.
No, they're not. You know, Kelly Fikert lost 2 years in a row, but yet he won the popular vote for sheriff, but they told him he lost the rural vote. He goes, what's the rural vote? You know what they told him? The retirement homes.
Well, that's not right.
Well, you talk that to the Wapello County Commission because that's exactly what they told him.
Well, again, that's not accurate.
And he won, and he lost sheriff 2 years in a row under the exact same thing, but he won the popular vote.
Well, this guy won the popular vote too.
Yeah, well, I definitely am not voting for him. I know that. I want a full-time governor, not a part-timer.
Well, okay, so he's gonna his is all about protecting the farmers. He got an antitrust action policy going on to help agriculture. He has no eminent domain for private games, so therefore it's easier for farmers. And he's supposed to help give young farmers tax cuts to help grow their business without gouging them. That way, the cost of living can go down for Iowa. Because Iowa being a farming state, we rely on the farmers, and if the farmers can't make money, they have to increase their prices. And if they increase their prices, then shit turns around. And here's the thing, and this is probably why him going to Kansas and come back helps, because Kansas, if any state is more of a farming state than Iowa, it's Kansas. Kansas is probably more of a farming state than Iowa. I mean, it's right there, like top right there. So he wants to revoke teaching license for political indoctrination. Like, that's the shit that you were just talking about. I mean, and he says here that he had to leave Iowa to make something of himself because there's no way for Iowa much growth, and he wants to work on that. It says here he wants to focus on Iowa. He wants to focus on Iowa education.
Yeah, okay. That's why he was one of the founders of the schooling to have you go to be a farmer, right?
Tom
Notch.
I'm reading the policy.
I know. I'm reading it. He's full of shit.
Where does I say that at?
Me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've done my research on this guy. He was all for the colleges having an agricultural program so kids could learn how to farm. Well, that's the thing. Kids were never supposed to learn. If they were, it was handed down from one generation to another. It wasn't for a city.
Whoa!
No. Listen to me. No. Don't interrupt. Listen. You heard of first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation. They're generation farmers for a reason because it was all passed down.
Yeah.
When was the last time you ever heard of a city boy going to college to learn how to grow a crop? There just ain't none. Indian Hills has the lowest numbers of people trying to go to college to learn how to grow a crop. It was a stupid program, and he was behind it.
Not all. Okay, well, where do you think the first generation farmer came from? Someone that needed to learn agriculture.
No, they did it by experience. They
How?
didn't have agriculture back then.
You're shitting me.
They learned by doing it. Did Amish go to agricultural school to learn how to grow crop? No, they were taught by their ancestors, their family. It was passed down.
But who did the
That's what I'm saying.
learn from?
Again, passed down generation to generation.
But who was
grandpas, grandfathers. It was a family ran thing. That's why I said there's generations there.
Yeah, but you're forgetting the start. You're saying, yeah, there's
no, I'm not.
Generation. Yes, you are.
There's generation one, which would have been started with great grandpa. Generation two, which started with his son. Generation three started with his son. It goes on.
I know that.
So where does it start? With the plant hitting the ground? My point stays the same. It's generational ran. When was the last time a city boy went out to a farmer and said, "Can I grow crop?"
That would be your great grandfather.
No, that wouldn't have been, because my great grandfather would have been working on the railroad because he came from Ireland.
Oh my goodness gracious! Not yours. Your great grandfather in that little story you just said 10 seconds ago. You keep saying,
no, I didn't.
The third generation farmer learns from the second. The second generation learns from the first. The problem with your story is who the first learned from?
They didn't learn from a fucking school, and they didn't learn from a city boy.
I know,
and they didn't didn't learn from an educational person.
I know a lot of city boy people that decided to go to farming, but the problem is they didn't know what they were doing because they didn't have a parent that knew what they were doing. They had to go to school to learn how to do it.
Well, that was their stupidity for getting into it to begin with.
Why? Some people want to be a farmer.
Because any real farmers will tell you you don't know what you're going to get. You're putting your faith into God, literally. One year you could have great crop. The next year you ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing, you don't eat.
Well, then you got to know, okay, how do I fix that so I don't have nothing? There is nothing wrong with an agriculture program, especially
there is. It's everything.
State.
Yeah, it is, because nobody's taking the fucking class.
All right, let's find out. Let's look it up. We're looking right now. How popular? Damn it, I can't type today. Are agriculture programs in Iowa? Agriculture programs in Iowa are immensely popular.
Immense. I love that. Immense. Which tells me we're not.
What? What's wrong with that word?
Because that means not.
No, it doesn't. Immensely is an adverb that means exceedingly to a great extent. You don't even get your word right, man. So it says here that it's extremely popular, basically. It's massively popular and deeply integrated into Iowa culture and economy, supporting around 385,000 jobs across the state.
1,000 jobs. Hold on. Let me back the train up here. How many jobs did they create?
385,000 jobs.
They're full of shit. Because there's no person that graduated out of that class that got over, let's say, $1 million out the gate, and that was just to buy his land to fucking field on.
Oh, yeah? It says here agriculture programming is number 7 worldwide and number 4 just in America. So,
hold on. I'm going to prove my point. Hold on.
Obviously, it's a big deal. I'm reading it right here. I am reading it right now.
Hold on. 5 acres of land in Iowa is going to cost anywhere between $195,000 and $350,000. That's just 5 acres. You know what? My house sits on 5 acres.
Okay,
that's how little 5 acres is. So they're going to need they're going to need 500 acres to make anything. And that might just cut their overhead for the year. So you're going to tell me out of all those jobs you just listed, which one of them has $300 million to go buy land, not counting the farm equipment they're going to need to run it?
I didn't say 300 million. I said 385,000.
No, like I said, out of all of them kids you just mentioned, which one of them is going to have the millions of dollars they're going to need to buy the land, buy the farm equipment, plus the seed to plant it?
Well,
That's why that's why there's called generation farmers for a reason, because the generation farmers already have the equipment. Yes, it's old. Yes, it's busted, but it works. These kids ain't going to go out and buy a used combine because they're not taught that. They're only taught the new technology. They ain't going to know how the old shit works. They're going to have that $1 million piece of equipment. They're going to have all that.
Okay, I have a question. Here's a question. What happens to the farm, that family generation farm, when, let's say, that the kid dies and there was no heir for the farm? It has to be sold. Somebody has to buy it to continue it on.
Oh yeah, how many of those happen every day?
More than you'd think. Not everybody. Look, just like you're talking about, hey, what city kid wants to be a farmer? You know what? I know a lot of farmers that say, the kids will say, I don't want to be a farmer.
Let's add that up. Let's add that up. In Iowa,
I personally know a couple of people that left farming and decided, you know what? I want to be an engineer instead. And they, by my farm, they went to go do other things.
You know what? That doesn't surprise me, because you want to know why I say that? Because you know what the good thing is about farm kids also know how to do? Weld. You know what city boys don't know how to do? Weld.
Okay. And?
My point's made. They know how to do everything on that farm. It ain't that generation. It's how they are today. No, it's just how they are today. You know how many kids out there in Blakesburg that know how to weld at the age of 13 years old because their parents are farmers?
My point is, not every kid is going to be a farmer.
Just saying.
We still need farmers.
Maybe.
Farming is not going away anytime soon. We need food.
How much of our corn's used for food? None.
It feeds the food.
And it has no nutritional value to even the animals. Figure that one out.
Nobody cares. No one really cares, man. It's called livestock.
Tastes good. That's about it.
That's right. What is your problem? What is your problem with farming? I feel like you got a problem with the farming expansions here. And as you mentioned earlier,
it just ain't possible. Just ain't possible. Not for someone coming out of college. You're not getting into farming, not unless you're going to go work with one first.
Wow, you mean like a farmhand that might inherit the farm from the farmer? Wow, that's happened a lot of times.
Okay, here's one for you. What U.S. state is number one in farming?
Well, either Iowa or Indiana.
Kansas? Wrong on both counts. Three counts.
Nebraska.
Nope.
No.
According here on the new U.S. poll, the number one farming in the United States is California and Texas.
The hell it is!
Says it right here. Number one in revenue, California and Texas. Texas donates by number one of its farms in total farmland acreage.
Well, okay. Well, maybe they're growing other things, but fine. But if anything, that just helps my point. That shows that farming is all over America.
Yeah. That's my point also.
Well,
but Iowa's number one in corn. That's all we're known for is corn.
Corn and pigs.
Hooray for that. Hooray for that. Way to go, Iowa. Corn and pigs. That's all you're known for. Next, we're going to have the world's biggest cow.
Idaho is all known as for potatoes.
Welcome to Idaho.
Dude, what is your deal? Do you have a problem with farmers? What, you think all that shit at the supermarket just gets there magically?
I don't eat. I don't eat vegetables, so I don't know what to tell you. I take that wrong. I do love a good potato. An occasional carrot.
Well, guess what? A farmer gave it to you. You're welcome.
No kidding. But you know how many kids today go in there and see steak and things that magically appear from a supermarket, but not from a cow?
Unfortunately, too many.
Yeah, my kids was one.
Again, I have no problem with it. I have no problem with this guy promoting an agricultural business or community.
I do. I do, considering it ain't going to benefit us at all. Because you know who has they're the same that you were talking about. How going from one to another could benefit us because of him going there. Well, here's a funny thing. We are equal on the housing market.
With who?
Our cost of living is the same.
As what?
Kansas. They're identical.
So our cost of living is pretty low.
So is theirs, 10%. We meet the same.
So
that takes your argument away.
No, it doesn't. If anything, it helps it. We are a
how does
state.
it? They're the same.
Because he knows how to keep it freaking cheap.
How? They're the same. They're identical.
They're cheap.
So yeah, so are we apparently.
Yeah, we're a very cheap state. We're in the top 5 of the most. Give me a second. Okay. I have the list up right now of the top 10 cheapest states to live in. Okay? Top 10 cheapest states to live in. Number 1, Oklahoma. Number 2, Mississippi. Number 3, West Virginia. Number 4, Alabama. Hey, number 5, Kansas. Hey, so he must know what's going on over there. Number 6, Missouri. Number 7, Arkansas. Number 8, Iowa. We are the 8th cheapest state to live in, and yet this guy may know some tricks to make it even cheaper than that. And on top of which, the other guy was Iowa's treasurer. Basically, he was in charge of money, and yet he lost money. And I'm thinking, you want someone that's going to lose money being in charge of making our place cheaper? No, it's going to kind of go the other direction if he's in charge. Wow.
So have you actually Googled this guy at all?
Which one?
Zach Long.
I've Googled both of them, yeah.
Republican nominee. But his campaign has been heavily scrutinized over his strong ties to Kansas, where he previously voted on co-funding in an innovative private school.
You and I were just talking about how horrible the education system is.
Hold on. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Hold on. Keep going here. Lon owns a family farm in Belle Plaine, Iowa, has positioned his campaign around that Iowa First platform. However, critics including the Iowa Democratic Party, labeling him a carpetbagger, noting that transferred his voter registration to Iowa in 2024 to meet residency requirement after voting in Kansas in 2018, 2020, and 2022. Flight logs and family. Flight logs revealed that Lon frequently uses his personal plane to travel between his Iowa farm and Wichita, Kansas. Lon has defended his WHO 13 News report, explaining he has complicated blending family and travels to pick up his children once a week in Kansas. You know what the problem I have with WHO 13? They're Democratic ran.
Okay.
Which almost makes me wonder what side he's really on. Talking to them is like Trump talking to CNN, to be honest.
when she's done that.
And scrutinized them for it every time.
I,
Never gets old.
oh, you mean like JD Vance recently going on The View?
That shit was funny too.
That was funny. So that was funny. But my point is, Republicans.
Hey, it's like him. Like I said, JD Vance going on The View, Trump going on CNN. They're both hilarious. He had a straight down interview, and it was all right.
Republicans.
No hard questions. No hard questions.
You want me to finish that? Republicans and Democrats have to talk with other news medias all the time. That's not nothing new. Because that channel may be Democrat, but it's also local news. Unfortunately, you got to go with what you got to go with, man. Look, I am not against someone that goes somewhere else, comes back, and wants to bring fresh ideas. I'm not against that. You have.
I am.
Well, that's you. I got lists upon lists.
I'm an Iowa person for a reason. I've never left because I love my state. You left because you were in the Air Force. I get it. But I never left. I did leave. I went to Florida for 3 months, came back because I didn't like it. It wasn't home.
Well,
home is here.
Well, let me tell you something.
So for him to say my heart was here, but I left, but you came back also. He came back because he sees an opportunity to become governor.
What's wrong with seizing opportunities? I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that. Let me tell you something.
Read between the lines. What's his agenda? There's a reason. Everybody has a reason why they do something. What's his?
To make Iowa better.
So they want you to think everybody thought Obama was going to make America great again. How'd that turn out? That was one big ass fucking mistake.
What?
Obama. Everybody thought he was going to make change. Change is coming. It's going to be good. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
He bought in. Everybody bought into him. Hell, even I did.
And that was the Democrat side. See, that's what I'm talking about.
No, it's just what we hear. Everything sounds good. It looks good. I'm telling you, there's something about this guy that ain't good. I can't figure it out.
That because
but I know there ain't. Oh no, there is. There's always something to figure out. There's always a motive. There's always something. There's always something that somebody wants to do, whether it's a money game or what stuff can you take there. I honestly don't believe anything good is going to come out of him being our governor. And that's from me talking to every other Republicans like me. They're all saying the same damn thing. There's something that he wants. He's a businessman. A businessman knows what he wants and how to get it. So, what's he want? There's always a catch.
What's wrong with him just wanting to help Iowans?
He'll say, you want me to... If that's the case, he'll go shit in a paper bag and probably sell it to you.
Fine. What does this other guy have to offer?
Fuck, I don't know.
Exactly.
And to me, as of right now, I look at the lesser of two evils, like I did with all of the elections. I'm one that don't look at red or blue. I never have. You know, I voted three Democrats in because I like their policies over the other three.
Well, what policies does this new Sand have that you like?
Oh no, I haven't looked into them yet. I need to.
You might want to, because they're going to scare the shit out of you.
Probably not. All right, let me look here. Zach Nunn, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever actually even looked into him and know anything about him.
You might want to before you vote for him, don't you think?
Nope.
Oh, you're going to blind vote for someone.
Haven't we all done that?
No, I don't do that. I always read about what everybody's going to say. I always watch debates. I always watch forums. I want to know what these people are going to do for me before I vote for them. Every time. I don't care where someone is from as long as they're going to do something right by me.
I agree with that one.
So I don't care if this guy lived in Iowa, then moved to Kansas and came back. Hell, I just mentioned earlier how Kane isn't nowhere
I agree
near
with that
from
one.
Tennessee. Kane is nowhere near from Tennessee, born in Spain, raised in Missouri, and yet he's doing great in Knox County.
Okay, what do you... I'm agreeing with that one.
Huh?
Advocating for health policy, reduce healthcare costs. I agree with that one. Where are you saying this guy's shit will scare the hell out of me? I'm not seeing anything in here that's scaring me. Nothing. Taxation budget, support for reducing government spending, facility broad tax cuts, favors eliminating taxes on retirement income, reducing the federal tax burden on small businesses and families. That's pretty good shit because small business, mom and pop stores right there. That's pretty fucking good because that's anyone that owns a business that's independent, not Walmart. Agriculture, rural economy, expanding federal and state level support for sustainable farming, crop insurance. Local workforce development incentives, such as a recent $500,000 investment into Temwa Youth Center Career Campus. Healthcare, advocating for policies and reducing healthcare costs for rural communities. Again, something I would love to see, because you know what? Not having insurance and come paying out of pocket? I don't have it. I don't have it.
Well, I have a question. Where do you think all that money, all those ideas, how do you think he's going to pay for all those?
Fuck, who gives a shit? As long as it gets done, I don't give a fuck. Government reforms and ethics, pushing for strict government accountability, including bans on congressional stock trading and legislation to end automatic... Wait a minute. I like that.
Do you think Iowa has an unlimited gold mine in Des Moines that you don't know about? How do you think you're going to pay for all that?
Hey, I have a question. Is Zach Nunn a Democrat?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Very sure.
Listen to this. That's why I paused. Family support, backing pro-life initiatives, and expanding policies that make it easier for parents to work and raise families. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Increasing the cost of living, so he has more money to give to other people. You think
no, you just missed the last part there. You're missing what I just said, right?
I'm not missing what you said. I understand.
No, which part did I say that has me blind blustered right now?
Where it's going to come from?
No.
Well, that's my question for you.
My question is, he's a Democrat, right?
So he's pro-life. Some Democrats are. So what?
No, they're not.
Some
Nancy Pelosi would smack him in his face if she was in front of him. AOC would bitch slap him in his face if she was in front of him.
That's because they're not good people.
My point being is, I could ask you the exact same questions about the other one. Where's he going to get his ideas from? How's he going to get it done? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. They're not in office yet. They haven't talked with Congress, Senate. What do we need to do to get this done? How are we going to do it without cutting this or without cutting that? For all we know is the other guy could say, I want to cut everybody's 401k and we're going to take it from that. Well, that's the guy you voted in. He's a businessman. All he sees is numbers. That's the bad thing, because when businessmen and all they see is numbers, me, you, why do you think we have Social Security numbers? You ever wondered that? Because that's why do you think it JBS Heidi has a employee number?
Yeah, I
That
know.
isn't for hold on. That's not for the company that you work for. That's for the higher ups.
I know.
With that number, they know everything about you just like the government does with your social.
Okay. Okay.
So,
This is
for an
how
example, for
I
an
vote.
example, people say don't trust a politician, correct?
Uh-huh.
Well, older generation will tell you you never trust a businessman. Well,
And this guy isn't a businessman?
Zach Nunn isn't. No, he's always been a politician.
Oh,
But
because that's not a business at all. You're right.
oh, but you weren't letting me finish. The U.S. is a business, correct? We can agree.
Damn right, yeah. Sure.
Okay. So you would think a businessman would be the smart move to take, right?
That's what we got in the White House right now.
Yeah, and that's why I voted Trump in. But I voted Trump in for one reason only, not just because he was a businessman.
Because he wasn't a
He's
politician.
no, because he was the only businessman that not only had two businesses go bankrupt, but build them back tenfold stronger than what they were when they went bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I wanted him in.
Right.
The U.S. needed to make money. I knew Trump could get us back to making money. Now, can this guy right here get Iowa to making money? I don't want to hear about his policies. You're a businessman. To be honestly, what I want to hear is how you're going to make Iowa brighter, stronger, wealthier, and more efficient, more jobs. That's what I want to hear. If you ain't going to tell me any of that, we got nothing to talk about. If you're a
And
businessman,
you don't think
because you know why? You know why I voted Trump? Because he said those words.
Right.
I'm going to bring our jobs back.
Okay.
I'm going to make us richer. I'm going to make us brighter, more prosper. I'm going to make our military stronger. That's what I want to hear my governor say.
Well, you haven't heard any of them say anything yet.
Oh, yes, I have. I've heard his fucking interviews. He hasn't said a damn thing I like. The only one it did was Veenstra. I really liked him.
I did too.
And I still might vote for him. I'll write his name in.
Let me ask you a question, brother. I'm going to tell you something. Remember earlier when I explained the most expensive states? I want to tell you something. I want you to think on who the governor is in these states when I read some of them off to you. Because it should tell you, it should like register something in your head. Top 10 expensive states. Hawaii, Democrat state. California.
Hold on. We're not even going to bring up Hawaii. Hawaii is excluded from any debate.
Why? It's the most expensive state.
Why is it the most expensive state? You should know this.
Because it takes like a shitload of money to get anything down there.
It's exported. A cheeseburger at McDonald's would run you $10 easily.
Fine. I'll throw Hawaii and Alaska out. Deal? Okay. California.
Actually, Alaska's not that expensive.
It might as well be. You just have to go through Canada.
Yeah. And there's a guy that I watch on YouTube who does it almost every other winter.
Uh-huh.
He does. He drives. He'll come here. He'll go to his house in Colorado for 3 or 4 months. And then he drives from Colorado back up into Alaska.
Okay. So back to my list. Hawaii, which is questionable with you. Democrat state. California, Democrat. Massachusetts, Democrat. 4 is New York, Democrat. Now 5 is Alaska, but fine. If you can cancel Hawaii out, I'm canceling Alaska out.
Fine, whatever.
Okay, next is Maryland. That's Democrat. Jersey, Democrat. Washington State, Democrat. Vermont,
Hold on,
Democrat.
hold on. Give me a second, real quick. You know what? You don't get Vermont
Why?
because I like their laws.
I don't care about their laws. I'm talking about who runs the show and how expensive the state is.
Hold on. But you also got to take in count, okay? Not just, what their governors are, what they have. For an example, what's the best answer? Manufacturers, retailers, what they got for production jobs. Those will make a state higher cost of living real quick and in a fucking hurry. The more manufacturing jobs you have, the higher your cost of living is going to be.
I agree. So, but let me hear.
So hold on. So in Vermont's case, I want to do this. In Vermont's case, we're going to put, and you said this is a higher cost of living, correct? Is that what we're going by, or
the top 10 highest cost of living? Yeah, Vermont's number.
All right. So we're going to do this. Why is cost of living so high?
Because they're Democrat ran.
No, that's probably not it.
Well, I have a question.
I mean, I could say I would like to agree with you, but not everything has to be a left or a right thing.
Then you tell me
and
this.
It doesn't.
Then how come all 10 of the top 10 states to live that's most expensive, except for Alaska, all 10 of the top 10 most expensive state, how come they're all Democrat states? Even, look, Florida, which is a very, very highly expensive state that people would say, it's all the way down at number 17 because DeSantis has done a great job cutting the cost of living. 17 for Florida, a beach state, and it's cheaper than freaking all those other states I mentioned. Now let me tell you this. The top 10 most...
Wait a minute. You are not going to believe this.
Sure.
You're not. You're going to laugh. So you're on to something. You are.
Uh-huh.
And I'm you know why I say you're going to laugh? Because on a normal day, when I try to prove a point, and most generally I do make a compelling argument, but this time I have no argument. So when you type in Vermont, why do we have a high cost of living? Now, this is Vermont's 2026. It is 12% to 14% higher than the national average, heavily burdening locals. Here's this. Key drivers include severe shortage of affordable housing, soaring property taxes to fund a fragmented education system. That's how it's worded. Fragmented.
Yeah.
Now, for anyone who doesn't know what fragment is, it's like a small portion of something. So for any viewers out there, let that sink in for a moment. Surging healthcare costs for aging demographic. High energy costs during long winters. Now, that could be possible. I don't know how long their winters are in Vermont, but I know ours range for about 4 or 5 months.
Hold it before you go down that road.
I'm just saying, I don't know how long theirs last. And I'm not going to look at it.
You're right. That would make a difference. You're right.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, that's a little different, but I also don't know what are they running for energy though? Like we run natural gas. Are they running just electric heaters?
I don't know. But my point is, you're right. It would be colder winters up there. However, let me say something. Now, when I was going to say the top 10 cheapest states, and I'm going to tell you this: Oklahoma, Republican; Mississippi, Republican; West Virginia, Republican; Alabama, Republican; Kansas, Republican; Missouri, Republican; Arkansas, Republican; Iowa, Right now it's Republican. Michigan, number 9. That's That's kind of on the fence. Last time it Republican. Tennessee's Republican. Indiana, then North and South Dakota, and then Texas is 14. And those are all Republican-based states. Now you talked about Vermont and its cold winters. Well, let me tell you this. Michigan, thanks to those cold-ass lakes, they have very bad winters as well. The Dakotas also...
No. I wasn't comparing it to the winter.
Well,
you misunderstood that. I said I didn't know what their winters were like, and I didn't know what kind of gas they ran. But what I can say, I see what your point is. I do.
Vermont has cold winter, but so does Michigan, and Michigan is still cheaper by a lot.
Oh, I'm not saying you're not wrong.
Well, I know I'm not
wrong. I'm not saying I don't need a list.
I'm looking at a list. I do numbers. You know me.
I don't do numbers. I'm not math. I'm not a business person. I don't do numbers.
You know me. I like my statistics.
I don't believe in stats. Well, I believe in logic.
Well, where do you think they get the logic from? From statistics.
So, let me do this. Okay. So I do have a question for you. It means we're on topics of red states and blue states. You could count Minnesota in there as well, I guess, if you want to.
Bullshit. Minnesota's blue. It is not.
Oh, but they both have one thing in common.
What?
They both have one thing in common.
What?
And this might be wrong to say, but you know what? I'm tired enough and I just don't care. I'm going to say it. They both have a problem with a certain group from a certain country invading.
Oh, you did not bring that up. You did not bring that up. Dude,
so my fault.
Minnesota is a crazy state right now, and it's ran by that.
By the way, you're going to laugh at what I'm going to say next. New York, how's your new governor going?
Mayor.
I don't care. How's he doing? You guys are calling for deportation.
No, it's not governor. He's the mayor.
Doesn't care. He still thinks he has power and governorish. He thinks he does. But yeah. I want to know. I mean, how's it working for him? I know they're calling for deportations over there for him.
And yet he's a Democrat. You're kind of helping.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. But here's the thing. And I'm going to say this name loudly, Governor Abbott. The fuck are you doing letting it happen in your damn state? And not doing a damn thing about it. Yeah. That's Texas governor right there. They come in and say they take over your state and you do nothing. That's quite a coincidence. Because that's a state that's all red.
No, it isn't. It's not as red as it used to be.
Well, the other question I could ask in this whole situation is where's all those badass Texans that said they don't want to try that shit here?
Trust me. Trust me, this is what I'm talking about. Just a few months, the election's coming around. And
I'm not talking about elections. I'm talking about these people that went into Texas. The certain group that we talked about the other day.
You didn't talk about shit.
Yeah, we did.
I don't recall talking about that.
Yeah, we did.
I played the fifth.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. So there's a reason why none of these people come to small towns or bigger cities in certain areas because they've already done their homework. Texas, on the other hand, has a lot of people down there that have a lot of loud mouths, but a whole lot of people not doing nothing. I mean, Heavy Duty Country was one of the guys I used to follow who lived down there. He used to say, bring that shit over here. See what happens. Well, they were there, and I seen you did nothing. $20,000 Arabs show up in your state and say, we're taking it over, and you do nothing. You know what's going to happen? They try that shit here in Iowa. We're going to have an ass-kicking party. That's what's going to happen. They try that shit in St. Louis. They're going to have an ass-kicking party. Hell, I would dare them to try that shit in Chicago and see what would happen. But Texas, of all places, I did. You know, I was one of them that used to say that about Texas. You know that?
Oh, and earlier I made a mistake. I want to apologize for my mistake. Rob Sand is not the treasurer; he's the auditor. But
yeah,
he still controls money.
Well, isn't auditor like overseer, kinda?
Yeah, that's why.
But people also need to say that stuff slips through the cracks, especially if they don't want you to see it. I mean, hell, wasn't it Joni Ernst and what's his name that found a bunch of money in the government itself?
Yeah.
So, I mean, shit goes through the cracks. They don't want you to know about it. You ain't going to know about it until you really open up the file and fucking read it. So, is there a chance he didn't catch it? Probably. I mean, hell, look at how much shit fell through the cracks until Joni Ernst found it, you know?
But his job is to catch those things.
But things happen, you know? I mean, look at how much shit went underneath our noses and none of us fucking knew about it. Took Joni Ernst to find it. Years this shit was going on. And you know what? None of us would have known half the shit that was going on if it wasn't for Elon Musk and his crew going in and fucking opening shit up for Doge. That shit would have probably still been going on. You know? Shit does happen. I mean, you can't stop all of it as much as I hate to say I wish you could.
So you want to give him more stuff to let slip through the cracks?
Well, you know what? It's better than a fly-by-night governor.
I don't believe that. I just don't. I have no problem with someone coming back to bring new knowledge to help the state. I really don't. The history is filled of people who leave.
History.
Come back.
History. Okay, you know what? Let's say you do it. Let's say we vote this guy in. All right, 100%. He's in. What happens when I'm right? And then everybody starts complaining. Well, I didn't see that coming. Well, one of us did.
And
then what are y'all going to say?
How about this? If you were right, I have no problem saying you were right. However, the problem is, what if I'm right? You get put a Democrat in, and all of a sudden our cost of living goes through the roof.
Can't be any worse than it already is fucking now. Oh, speaking of which, speaking of our, oh yeah, you really think it can't?
It can
so
definitely get
you
worse.
know, there's a bill right now sitting in the Senate right now that's wanting to put our minimum wage to $25 an hour. What do you think that's going to do to our cost of living?
Extremely explode it.
Oh fuck yeah, it will. And who do we have in there right now? A Republican governor who's the one that fed it to the Senate to overlook it.
Wait a minute. She's not. Wait a minute. They're not in charge of federal minimum wages.
It's not federal, it's state.
The state doesn't do the minimum wage. The federal does.
That's not accurate. Can't be. Because if that's the case, then why in the hell is California always sitting at a higher rate than ours? We've been at $7.15 since fucking I was in high school. We haven't went up at all.
It still is. It's just that nobody realistically does that. But legally, it still is. the minimum wage is a federal thing, not a state thing.
Oh, that's what I was overhearing the other day that they were gonna. Oh, the minimum wage is 25 an hour. That's the case. We're all screwed.
Hmm. I don't see that passing anywhere because it would.
No, because anyone working a Nick job, you ain't making no money.
Mm,
That
yeah,
and clowns is because they're only going to work you 4 or 5 hours a day at the most and send your ass home.
pretty much. However, there is something that they're trying to do, which I honestly wouldn't mind. They want to turn it from 5-day work weeks, 5 8-hour days, to people working 4 10-hour days.
Yuck.
Huh?
Yuck.
Well, that way everybody gets 3-day weekends.
I agreed with everybody else. Work 110 and 312s and call it a day.
Hell no.
That's what JBS was wanting to do.
Yeah, and it got shot down faster than a crazy nut job.
It got shut down by the union.
Yeah. Why do you
But the
think
employer,
that is?
but the workers wanted it. I was one. It was 110 and 312s. You had the rest of the week off. That's why we were all for it. Fuck yeah, 3 days off, working 4 days. Hell yeah.
Yeah, except you'd probably be sleeping most of them.
Fuck no, dude. I work 312s every day. Every day. I mean, for 3 days. But for a long time there at JBS, I worked 312s for 7 days. I mean, 12s for 7 days straight.
Three.
No,
Three.
no, no.
You're talking about 312s. You're trying to add an extra 10 in there.
I did do it. I just told you. I did it for 7 days at JBS, 12 hours, 7 days straight.
Yeah, and you were
no break. No, I loved it. My paychecks were fucking fat.
Your paychecks were good, but you're physically and mentally you were drained.
No, I ran on Monster Energy, bud. I didn't feel tired. And you got to think, I'm also partially ADD. So once that kicked in with enough sugar, I was good to go for another 12, 16 hours.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But no, I can do it. I mean, not everybody's built like me, though. Like,
Right.
I can go to work with no sleep and be up all night.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it here recently.
Mm-hmm.
But no, not everybody's built like me. They ain't going to be able to do that.
Right.
I've done it. I did it at JBS, working 12 hours, couldn't sleep, stayed up, went back to work, did it all over again. But at that time, I was sole provider, so I didn't have a choice. I mean, I was the only one working. But do we have anything else we want to add to this?
We really went all notch on this podcast today, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. It's been an hour and 33 minutes, and we're still on it.
And most of it was us arguing with each other.
Makes good television. But are we good though?
Yeah.
Good. I think this is a good episode. I think we're good.
And you know what?
All right, guys.
And I think it's a good thing when we don't necessarily agree on anything. Because people like ways to think about it.
It is, because we're two Republicans having two different conversations.
You see things one way, I see it another. And there's nothing. And do what? And that's the thing, everybody. And do what? Let me reiterate, because this goes back to the Charlie Kirk thing. That is what this country is meant for. It's okay for people to have even a heated conversation like we did, but we don't hate each other. We don't hate each other at all. It's okay to have different views about things, because at the end of the day, We're both from Iowa, and the sad fact is, we both want what's best for this state, and we may have different ways on how to do that. He thinks having a full-time governor here is good, and you know what? Honestly, I can understand that point. But I think it should go deeper than that because I've read stories after stories about people who leave, come back, and bring knowledge from other areas back with them and make things better. There's so many stories. So people, Republicans and Democrats, we should be able to have a conversation with each other without wanting to hurt each other. There's nothing wrong with having a good conversation with people, and that's what we're losing in this country. People are so afraid of the violence, and right now, I guess they should be, but they all resort to violence if you don't agree with me. I literally had someone not too long ago tell me. I flat out asked her. I asked this question flat out. If I don't agree with everything that you think, does that make me a bad person? And without a hesitation, she said yes. So I'm a bad person because I don't agree with everything you say?
Yep.
What is wrong with that? What is wrong with us these days?
It's the liberal way.
And yeah, here we are having a discussion about what we think is best for our state. I have no problem with that.
Well, some people would. It's kind of weird, but they do.
All right.
But all right, guys, we're gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up.
We're gonna wrap this up. We will be back probably within another couple days with another one, and we'll talk to you guys later. In the meantime, have a good night, guys. Thanks for listening to Breakdown Blitz, where the conversation starts, but it never ends. Join us next time for more of the same.